This recording, I'm going to be working on Skybox. Right now, we just have a kind of a default skyline. Yours will probably be a light blue. I've deleted out mine earlier, but what we want to do is create a skybox. So basically, what a skybox is a cube. So there's six sides to a cube, and they're tied together. They're kind of a seamless look. So what we're going to do is going to show you how to download images for this that have already been cut up in Photoshop. You can take an image yourself. It's kind of complicated and take it to Photoshop and then cut it up. But the issue is trying to make it seamless so you don't see kind of a jolt in the cloud formation. So just to make it easy, let's just go show you how to go to a website and download it. So I went to this website. I just Googled it. This was the first or second one it popped up. Not to say you have to use these. There's plenty of websites that will have perfect skyboxes. So this is 93i.de. You can type in 93 Interactive or just free skybox texture in Google, and you'll probably come up with this or several others. All I did was download it. It took like a couple seconds to download, 109 megabytes. And this is what you get. Some images. They're PNGs, and so if you open them up, they're pretty big. They're about range from 3.4 to 5. So this is kind of a full wraparound. So the bottom would be water. So if you're doing a flight simulation, that would be good. The one I'm kind of interested in is the sunset, which may make your scene a little bit dark. But you can see the bottom is going to be black. So if we go, you can see the naming convention is back, down, front, left, right, up, and you'll get to know what that is later on as we move forward. All right, so I've downloaded it. You'll probably want to do that before you get started. Again, it shouldn't take that long to download, maybe less than 30 seconds or so. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Unity side of things. So right now we've got several things here. We've got our scene set up, and right now we don't have our skybox, so we want to add that in quickly. We have added quite a few things. We had our first person controller, how to download environment things as trees, how to make textures and mountains and water and also a fountain. So now we're going to add a skybox. So what we're going to do is go ahead, go into your assets. You can right click and hold, and we're going to go ahead and create a material. Okay, so I'm going to call this skybox. I'm going to call it skybox _2. All right, call it whatever you want, but you definitely want to be able to know that that is going to be your skybox. So I go ahead and select my skybox, and in the skybox it's going to be a standard material, which is kind of a Phong or a blend shape. So we're just going to go ahead and go from our standard, go to our skybox, and we want the six-sided. All right, again, this is, if you imagine a cube and it's seamless, if the edges match up perfectly, this is going to create kind of a perfect environment for our sky. So I hit six-sided. So you can see right off the bat we have front, back, left, right, and up and down. So these were the naming conventions that we were talking about earlier. All right, so what I'm going to do, you can go in here and go to import new asset, but you'll be importing those images one at a time. So if you want to save a little bit of time, you just go to your image here. Let's see. Thought I had it up and I turned it off. All right, so we go to Skybox. Sorry, all the clutter on my desktop. So I'm going to pull this up, and you can, if you want a different look, thick clouds, or whatever. I'm just going to do sunset because I kind of like the look. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and hold Shift, select all of those, and then I'm just going to dump those into my assets folder. You could probably be a little bit more clever than that, but I want to just dump these in there. You can see the plus mark. See, it just imported all of them in really quickly. All right, so we are going to use this naming convention so you can see back. So if you can't see this, I would suggest lowering this down, scooting this over. I think I scooted over earlier so I could read up and down. This is really critical when you're doing this. All right, so we're going to go back to our assets, go to our material, and this is kind of a jump back and forth if you keep grabbing the wrong thing. It looks like my material that I just created just went bye-bye. All right, so let's go ahead. For some reason, my color was destroyed. So let's go ahead and do another one. So we create a material, and I call it Skybox _3. Hopefully this will work this time. I don't know why that disappeared. So we're going to go ahead, make that into Skybox 6. All right, so I'm going to go back to my assets. And so we're going to look for front. So kind of be careful with this. When you don't double click or click on these, just kind of click and drag so you don't jump out of our Skybox 3. All right, so let's go and look for our front. So we have back, down, and front. So I'm going to click and drag, and you can see that image. So this is our front that's popped up, or our down, I'm sorry. So now we're going to do front or back. Okay, left. Okay. Takes a little bit to read these. Sunset right. So I have really bad eyes, so it's hard for me to see this. So you guys will probably just a lot quicker. So we can do up, and I think finally the last one is down. So down would probably be the darkest. Okay, so you saw some of those had kind of a look of water. So you may want to put something like water if you're doing a flight simulation or an island or whatever. All right, so we are good to go. So this is our Skybox. So now what we're going to do is bring up our lighting. So the best way I did this, usually lighting shows up here as a tab. So if you don't see it, just go here into window. And we're going to do lighting. It should show up here. And the line is back. I can't see it. All right, so you can actually drag this into here. I'm just going to grab that here. So this should be a tab. Doing a bad job here. All right, so you can put the stuff in here. So we have the inspector and lighting. All right, so let's go into see if our Skybox is showing up in materials, hopefully. All right, thank goodness. All right, so we've got our Skybox. So if we go into our inspector, and we zoom around, you can see how seamless this is. But in actuality, this is actually just a box, and just by deformation, it's working. So we have Skybox here, Skybox 3. I'm not sure why Skybox 2 disappeared, but anyways, we're going to go to our lighting, and we're going to go up here, and we've got our Skybox here. So if you don't see it, just go in environmental lighting, open this up, and it's called Skybox. Right now we have a missing material. It was your default procedural one, and I deleted it earlier, but you're going to override this. All you have to do is click and drag and drop this into the Skybox, and there you go. You should have your Skybox. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play, and I'll walk around. We should see our lovely water fountain. I think the team that I was working with, their water fountain is looking a lot better. All right, so there you go. You can change this up with a lighter color. If you find out this is a little bit too dark for your scene, you can do definitely a different Skybox. Hope this was useful. Good luck.